Yeah, man, this is gonna be a good one.
Okay.
This is gonna be a solid episode. I couldn't find my Sydney hat, but that's okay. I had a hat. It was perfect. It was like one of those brim flips up.
That I feel like that should never leave your pocket.
I
That
agree.
should be there all of the time, no matter what situation comes in handy. Like, hey, I'm at a cockfight. Hey, I'm at a wedding. Here's the fucking Sydney hat. Whoop whoop.
I mean, it's a timeless look.
Timeless.
I think that's really part of what makes like the first White Men Can't Jump really fun. It's just like some of the fashion and other things.
It's such a time capsule of the '90s. It's amazing. It's beautiful.
Yeah, even
It's
just
like a poem.
Yeah, actually, poem's not a terrible way to describe it. But all right, cool. Two basketball hustlers, seemingly opposites, actually have more in common than you would think. Using their various traits to deceive their opponents, they try to make a better life for themselves and their families. Will it all work out? Or is it true that white men can't jump? We'll find out in this episode of Retro Vs Remake, where we watch White Men Can't Jump and White Men Can't Jump.
Retro Vs Remake!
Hey.
It's pretty! It's so pretty! Oh.
Yeah. Close enough, right?
Close enough. That's fine. Really. It's hard to even compare, just the plots, because the only thing you hit the three beats, which are they're black.
Mm-hmm.
One's black, one's white, and they play basketball. That's it. That's the only thing that they do.
The commonality.
The commonality, and in one case, they sometimes play for money.
Yeah. Well,
That's really.
So, obviously on this episode, we're doing White Men Can't Jump.
White Men Can't Jump.
Which is basically a memoir biography of our friendship.
Our friendship, 100%. This is actually so close to how Reggie and I met.
Yeah, I was out there.
He was out there. I came in. I was on
balling.
Yeah, and I was. He said he was wearing a Sydney hat, and I was sitting there wearing my rainbow backwards flat brimmed hat.
Man,
with a parental advisory shirt.
Some of the fits.
But then again, like even though it was like of the time, some of the throwbacks that they were wearing, like he wore the Jordan, obviously, he wore the Magic Johnson, like the yellow Magic Johnson. I was like, this is fucking awesome at the time.
Yeah.
Still,
I think they're like
it's even awesome now.
It is awesome now.
Although now you're like, you would never play basketball in that jersey.
No, hell no.
Yeah.
I think that like funny enough, a lot of the fashion has come full circle. Like 90s fashion is kind of back in right now.
Well, especially because a lot of them are wearing athletic gear.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like there are certain things I never get over that I'm just like, I would never wear that. It's like when I go to the gym, especially younger people, they'll always wear like pajama pants. Yeah. And I'm like, nah, I can't fucking do that. Like, it's one thing to wear sweatpants. It's one thing to wear like latex sweatpants, like leotards and shit like that.
Sure.
It's quite another thing to wear. They're coming in like you look like you just rolled out of bed, bro. Like,
yeah. Well, it always kind of reminds me of that Chappelle bit with like Prince was like, "Yo, I don't know where you got that shirt, but it wasn't in the men's section."
Yeah, exactly. You got that in the boys section.
Lot of mesh, like crop tops, latex shorts. It's a whole
the
vibe.
Crop top shirt, like on a guy, always made me uncomfortable. Like, could you not do that?
You have to be a certain you basically have to be Lawrence Taylor for it to work.
You have to be Lawrence Taylor, or you have to be, I don't know, like Rikishi.
Oh yeah.
Like, you have to be really fat. Like in the perfect example was the Samoan dude in The Replacements. Like when he was wearing the crop top shirt, you're like, yeah, that guy could wear it.
Yeah. Like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson could wear a crop top. It'd still be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It would be really uncomfortable, actually.
It's very uncomfortable. It's also the other thing that when I see people like working out with shirts, although it's different in basketball because then back in the day we play shirts versus skins.
Right.
But you do, whenever you like playing against someone that's not wearing a shirt, you're like, could you fucking put a shirt? Like, this is disgusting.
Yeah. Especially that basketball sweat that you get.
I know. It's just gross.
No fun.
Like, I don't want to, yeah.
No.
Like, plus, how am I supposed to play with an erection?
Yeah, that's so true. So true. All right, well.
That's a nice little intro.
Yeah, sure. Why not? Just bring you guys up to speed. White Men Can't Jump is a 1992 American sports comedy film written and directed by Ron Shelton. Ronnie. Starring Wesley Snipes, Woody Harrelson, Rosie Perez, let's see, Tyra Farrell, and that's all we need.
Yeah, you don't need
to be perfectly
really. You need Wesley Snipes, Woody Harrelson, and Rosie Perez.
True.
That's really, you don't really need many other people.
Yeah, I'll give Tyra Farrell her due because there are some scenes that actually move the plot.
True. Yeah, true. And then also Dwayne Wayne from a different world,
yeah,
whatever his name is. I don't remember his name, but it doesn't matter. But he has the epic line of the movie. We gonna sizzler.
Yeah. Wow. Did you know? Well, I guess from a production standpoint, Bob Lanier, the Detroit Pistons and Milwaukee Bucks player, Hall of Famer, was hired as basketball coach for the film. He was impressed with Harrelson and Snipes and suggested both could have been Division II college basketball players. That's not saying that much.
But
that's saying
maybe. Yeah.
That's not saying nothing, though.
That's not saying nothing. Like, because I don't know about you, but I went, well, you didn't. You went to a Division I school, but I went to a Division III college. And I remember, like, the best player on the basketball team who lived across the hall from me, and he was excellent.
Yeah.
But he could definitely have been, like, the sixth man on a D1 school. So, it was...
Hey,
that ain't nothing.
That ain't nothing, dude. If you can hit that level, you're pretty good.
Yeah.
And, funny enough, Michael Rappaport, I believe... executive producer.
Michelle Rappaport.
Oh, it was Michelle?
Michelle Rappaport.
Damn it. They got me good. I was like, of course Michael Rappaport's involved.
But you saw M. Rappaport.
That's all I saw.
That's all. But Michael Rappaport would have been right up his
surprised
alley.
he's not in the movie.
Yeah. Seriously.
Yeah.
Where is he just like as a guy?
Yeah.
There. Not that he can ball like that, but...
No, not at all. But, let's see. Then we've got the remake, White Men Can't Jump, which is a 2023 American sports comedy film. Directed the second time we've had this director, Cal Maddock.
In 2 weeks, baby.
Yeah, it's crazy. Let's see, written by, screenplay, I guess, by Kenya Barris and Doug Hall. Starring, why would you start? Oh, I guess that's that guy's name. Starring Cinqua Walls, Jack Harlow, Tiana Taylor, Laura Harrier, and I'm going to say Vince Staples. Oh, wait. And Lance motherfucking Reddick.
Lance motherfucking
Lance, rest in peace.
Fucking Lieutenant Daniels himself.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't.
Who is actually in this movie? He's exactly the opposite of everything he's ever played. He's like loud. He's like a little obnoxious, but like funny obnoxious, and like playing along, like going into it. That's right, son. Yeah, like come home. Like, and then he does the handshake, but he does
because he's got MS.
He's got MS, which you find it a spoiler alert in the movie, but he has MS. No joke, his MS outfit that he comes to the birthday party in. Oh my god. The maroon fucking...
It's like, are we watching The Wire?
Yeah, but that maroon fucking sweatsuit with the Kangol hat, with the matching Kangol. Ooh, it was fire.
And you know what's nuts? And weirdly enough, this is a crazy thing to say, but like, this is apparently his final film.
Yes.
And the send-off they give him in this isn't...
No, it's that very cinematic.
Yeah,
completely. Little did they know that he would. That's amazing. Like that's his last shit that he did. That's almost like on the Raul Julia level.
Like Street Fighter.
Street Fighter, like Vaya con Dios, Raul. Although there was no rest in peace, Lance.
Yeah, I don't remember. Yeah,
I didn't see anything.
Yeah, they weren't gonna add that. It was already in the can.
It was in the
can. Calmatic was done.
Yeah. Hello.
So what's your first experience with White Men Can't Jump?
I don't know. I was thinking about this today. I don't know how it came into my consciousness.
Yeah.
I know it was out.
Right.
I know that. And it came out, and I was young when it came out. So I was not allowed to watch it.
Of course.
I was not, because it was a rated R film. Even though other than the slight nudity in the movie,
Side boob.
Yeah, side boob. I was not. There's really no reason why you couldn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's gonna kill me.
Whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
And he. But other than that, but I know I wasn't allowed to watch it, and then somehow I got to see it, and I definitely heard the quotes of it, like people quoting it before, like especially some of the Yo Mama jokes made it to my schoolyard before it made.
Break a leg, gravy come out.
Yeah, gravy come out. Which is, I remember getting heckled one of the times, and one of my heckles was very close to that.
Really?
To the guy, except it was the guy heckling me was a very fat person. And I was like, if you keep this up, I'm going to jump down there and stab you until you bleed chocolate milk, you fat tub of shit.
It's aggressive?
It was aggressive. I was very early on, and I lost my temper. I lost my cool. Anyway, but I don't know when I first saw this. I just kind of think I've always seen it. Like, it was like one of those movies, like it's almost like if you asked me when I saw E.T. I don't know. I really don't know. I just saw it. Or like Indiana Jones. I remember I wasn't allowed to see it, and then somewhere along the way I saw it. And I probably saw it in bits and pieces, and then when I saw they were remaking it, I was like, Retro Vs Remake! And then...
as soon as I saw that commercial, I was like, yeah, we watching that.
Yeah, which I got excited because I was like, well, now I get to rewatch. I was about due to rewatch White Men Can't Jump.
Right.
But that was always like the boot of everything, because I was also like starting basketball around when that movie came out, so it was always like, oh, White Man Can't Jump and whatever.
Yeah.
You know, and that's when I really became conscious of the NBA, like much more conscious of the NBA, because, you know, Michael Jordan's starts going on his run, Magic Johnson's going down, not going down, but going down a little, and then, you know, AIDS and, HIV and all that stuff, and then...
Wow.
So, I can't tell you. I don't know my first impression, like what I first thought about it. I genuinely couldn't tell you.
Yeah, same thing where like I can't really lock down a date. I think that when I first watched it, it was definitely like one of those situations where like it was at like a family function, you know, it was on like HBO or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, sit around and watch White Man Can't Jump because like it's a classic film in the black community.
Yes.
White Man Can't Jump, but just some of the opening sequences and the fashion stuff, like you said, it's just in your head, like it's in the zeitgeist. So I know the film and quote aspects of it. I have no idea when I first saw it, but you know, I've definitely seen it.
Yeah, it's almost like Goodfellas. I genuinely don't know. I don't like. There are some movies that I should have seen that came around this time. That like, I remember seeing Reservoir Dogs, which is '93.
Yeah.
I remember seeing that, like, when I was in high school and been like, how the fuck did this get by me?
Yeah.
But like this, again, like, I don't have a concept. I don't know.
Yeah, and then like the remake, it's almost like, I want to say, I guess like a pleasant surprise, somewhat, in the sense of like, oh, here's a commercial for White Man Can't Jump.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, oh yeah, when I first saw that, I was like, oh, I guess I'll watch that. But also at the same time, when you, like most things, when you see they're doing a remake, you're like, fucking why?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that movie's not that dated. Like, even when I watched it again, it's like, it's really not.
Yeah.
The only thing that's like dated is like Alex Trebek isn't alive anymore.
Right.
Like, that's...
See, they originally had Alex Trebek. The remake had Lance Reddick.
Yeah.
Jeez, two really great people.
Yes, legends.
I was very hyped, like rewatching it and seeing Trebek again. I was like, man, that guy did it right.
Although, motherfucker,
he lived a life.
He did live a life, and also like, incredibly with it until the end.
Yeah.
And but Lance Reddick, I had no idea he was in this movie.
Yeah, me neither.
Until when he showed up, I was like, oh.
Yeah. As soon as
he showed up before the credits did.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh. Like,
so I was like, oh, fuck yeah, Dan.
Yeah, I was like, let's go.
Lance Reddick.
Let's go. Fucking Lieutenant Daniels, Cedric Daniels.
Yeah. You gotta play better, son.
Gotta play better. He's like, oh, I bet him $50 that you can make that shot from sitting down.
Yeah.
Dude. He's like playing like he was pretty good. He played against like typecast what he normally does ever.
Yeah, no.
Except once you realize that like this is the last movie he made, I know how old he was.
Right.
Which is like, you have a 17-year-old son and you're 62 or whatever he was. Like, Jesus
That's
Christ.
a great point. And like I would expect more like what's his name, like Wood Harris, to play that type of role. Like he's even the outfit, the maroon outfit.
Yeah.
Looks like some,
That definitely
you know what I mean? Like
something straight out of Avon.
Like,
Some
like,
Avon Barksdale shit.
Get up and down, son.
Yeah. Or like when he's yelling at him when he's doing the suicides and shit. Like I don't know. There's such a fine line between coaching your son to greatness and having your son hate your fucking guts.
That's it.
And I don't. And this movie, they didn't really walk it in this movie, but that's all I kept thinking about. Is like, oh God, I would hate you.
It's a very fine line. Yeah, like I mean, just it was cool seeing Lance Reddick.
Yeah.
For we'll get into it, but like just for things get I don't even say moved around. They're different.
They are definitely different movies completely.
Yeah,
like I don't think they're very related really at all.
No, and we'll talk about it. I think there are some beats that they try to like acknowledge. I don't think they like. This definitely isn't one of those remakes where they go, this scene, and we're doing that scene, and we're doing that scene. It's just.
But even let's say there's 5 major plot points in any movie. Mm-hmm. They don't do any of them.
No, none. Certainly not.
The only thing the Sydney character and then the Kamal, he's married with a son.
Yeah.
That's about it.
That's about it.
Like he doesn't even want to like move out of the house. Like he wants to just in the second one, his wife wants to get a salon.
Yeah, which is completely different.
Completely different than it's so much more different. Like I can this it's so much of a like the movie. It should not be called White Man Can't Jump. I think let's flat out. It should be called like Hoopers.
Or something like that. Like
something like Ballers.
Ball Dreams.
Dreams.
Hoop Dreams.
Fucking almost made it. I don't know. Like wannabes. Something.
You're
anything.
not Charles Barkley. You're just a wannabe.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's a Space Jam reference.
But then even in the movie,
we haven't done Space Jam yet. Although technically that's Space Jam 2.
We could do it.
I think this covers it.
Yeah, this covers it. We could just talk about Space Jam in this if you want. But I have we just do Space Jam and The Last Dance.
Yeah.
That's what we should do. The 6-part documentary on Space Jam. That's what what really happened.
What really happened was the Monstars came.
The Monstars came and took the talent from the NBA. It really is not similar.
No.
It's really not.
No.
Like, there's not many aspects of the film. Like, the whole premise, of fucking the original White Man. They even reference White Men Can't Jump in the movie.
Right.
Like, that's the only thing. Like, in the movie, Woody Harrelson can't jump.
Right.
Like, white men can't jump.
Right.
That's the whole thing. In this, there's not even a question he could jump. He can dunk. Like, he does it easily.
Yeah.
No one questions, I don't think he can dunk.
Like, the 92 film posits universe, which actually is very believable, in which, black people from, the streets white guy balling, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
You just see a white guy, it's he can't play basketball.
It's hunky.
Yeah. Versus, 2023, some of the references that Jack Harlow makes, is, talking about Luka Doncic, Tyler Hero's in the movie. It's two...
And he does make a good... When he says the point, it's once people face the fact that he's the best player in the NBA, everyone's going to get along a lot better.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying some things.
He's not.
No, he's not. No.
Luka Doncic is very good.
He's great.
He's not the best player. Not currently. Honestly, you could make an argument Nikola Jokic is the best player in the NBA.
Yeah.
He's white.
Yeah, he's white.
But to be fair, at the time this must have been shot, I think you could arguably make a Doncic argument.
But before this
recent playoff run.
But even if you went back to the last really great one,
but we always knew White
Dirk,
could ball.
Yeah,
Steve Nash.
No one ever debated that fucking Larry Bird could bowl. Mm-hmm. No one. That was always he could fucking play. Chris Mullin.
And that's what's kind of
John Stockton. Fucking.
That's what's kind of funny about the 92 film is that all this shit is it. Of course white guys plenty of white guys dunking and playing basketball.
But see, that's what also I realized in this movie is that a big part of what the title means of White Men Can't Jump.
Right.
It's coming from the time in basketball too, where dunking was a huge part of the game. It was you want to stand out, because again, like even with the Woody Harrelson point of like you'd rather lose the game and look good than win the game and look bad.
Yeah.
And so like the dunking is a perfect example of that.
Which was coke for him. Like,
Yes.
You know, the problem with you brothers is, you know, it's like, which I get what he's saying, but like, yeah, I do think that is kind of fair. What you're saying is that I can't think of like a highlight reel white guy dunking in all my years. Like,
yeah, not so much.
NBA, like I can't
not
think
so
of,
much. And then they have, I mean, fast forward to today's game where it's not about dunking.
No,
and frankly, if you're dunking, it's a 3-point field goal.
Yeah.
Like the same way it's like it's not about sky hooking anymore.
Right.
You know,
right.
it's the same level. It's you could do so many other things to score points and be better at that. Like if you're an ill 3-point shooter, who gives a fuck if you ever done a windmill dunk in your life? Who cares? No one's ever going to question. But back then, until Vince Carter's slam dunk competition, which, and you can leave all the comments you want. Yeah. There has never been a slam dunk competition that has been better than that.
Like that.
Nothing. Once that was done, everyone's like, well, I'm not going to be better than that. Like, what's the point?
It changed everything. Like when he hit that dunk, when
the arm in
the rim, hang, like in my mind, he was up there forever.
Yeah.
He probably was like,
he's still there.
Like,
he's still there.
But like, I thought he was up there just like, I could just hold this for the rest of my life. And I was like, wow, dude.
Yeah, it just... So it's like the evolution of the game.
Yes.
The title not only doesn't make sense in the fact that he can.
Right.
It doesn't make sense in the cultural aspect of the NBA.
Right.
Because who gives a shit? Like the last...
Are you talking about the new title, or are you talking about...
The new title.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, the new title. Okay. Like it says in the cultural game of basketball. Yeah. Who cares? Like, even, what's his name, I never thought about it this way, was, that shows up, Blake Griffin.
Right.
He shows up in the movie, spoiler alert. Right. But he was talking about like how he can't, like he doesn't want to dunk as much anymore because when he comes down it's hard on his knees.
Right.
And it takes a lot out of him to do it. So it's like, so even that, like that's a part of the game now. Like whereas, you know, if someone can dunk back then, like a Vince Carter when he was coming up, you want to make a statement like
like that statement dunk. And you know, to be kind of fair to like the Woody Harrelson line of like, you know, you rather look good and lose, like no, you actually would. Like in their universe is like, because like a big part of this film is the fashion. It's like, no, it's all about how you look and how you're coming across. If you come in looking like Opie or like Cindy Brady, then like we assume you can't ball.
Okay, so this brings me to my point, which I wanted to talk to you about, which I was going to say. Is the original White Man Can't Jump a sports movie? I would argue that it's actually a gambling movie.
Okay, I want to have this conversation. I put a fucking pin in this because I've got a lot of opinions, and they're not exactly in line with yours.
Yes.
But let's do a quick synopsis of the film, and then we'll determine whether or not White Men Can't Jump is a sports movie. Based off of my spouse's reaction to White Men Can't Jump, I don't think so, but we'll get there.
Okay.
A former college basketball player who happens to be white is often discounted when it comes to his proficiency at basketball on the streets.
Yes.
A more, I guess, like flamboyant or like charismatic baller who happens to be black, they encounter at one point. The black guy underestimates the white guy, gets hustled.
By the same hustle, by the way.
The exact
same hustle. That I will give that too.
That was
from the top of the key, like nailing.
Totally.
5.
Upon being hustled, the black athlete realizes, hey, maybe we got something going on here. We can make some money. Both characters have their reasons for needing money, mostly tied to their families, and agree to do the hustle. There's bumps and bruises along the way. Hustles go good, they go bad, and ultimately it culminates in a major basketball tournament which they can win enough money to realize their dreams and provide for their families.
Yes.
Can a white man jump? We'll find out. But yeah, that's basically White Man Can't Jump. White guy, black guy, I don't think you can play basketball. Hey, shit, you can play basketball. Let's make some money.
Yeah. By the way, it looked like you were reading that from somewhere, even though I know I'm seeing beyond the camera. There's nothing there. There's a TV right behind it.
The mind's eye. The mind's eye, baby.
But, yeah, it's just like, can they, like you're sticking to the script, can a white man jump?
Okay, so to your
Yes.
very important question, is it a sports movie? All right, the original White Man Can't Jump starts with basically like, it's not a quartet, but it's basically a barbershop quartet.
Yes.
Of like
A trio.
You see,
A gospel trio.
that's true. You see Woody Harrelson, who plays Billy Hoyle in the '92 film.
I want to find out how good you are, chump. Come on, I'm your white shadow.
Who's parallel in
Jack
the
Harlow.
remake is Jack Harlow, who plays
I don't know.
Jeremy.
Oh, I prefer Venmo or Zelle, but you seem like a Cash App guy.
In the remake, and just to get this out of the way, even though I'm not going to talk about him yet, in the '92 film, Wesley Snipes plays Sidney Dean,
Being this good.
who honestly I often forget his last name. He was just Sidney to me.
Yeah. Kamal.
Cinqua Walls plays Kamal,
I assumed you couldn't hoop because you were dressed like a white girl at Whole Foods.
ex-high school baller or whatever.
Give him the ball.
We don't really get a lot of the Wesley Snipes background, but that's not really.
That's what I think is so brilliant about it.
Right.
Like
Why is he good? Why is he this good?
And none of that, but like what does he do for a living?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you barely know.
Well,
he does a lot of things.
Yeah, he's a hustler.
Yeah, he's a hustler.
I mean, he's quite literally a hustler.
Literally a hustler.
So yes, the original is a gambling movie because
It's definitely a gambling
it's
movie.
all about the hustle.
It's all about that's
less
my
about
point.
basketball.
It's a lot less about basketball. It's all about the money that they get to play. If they weren't playing for the money, they would not play the game.
Yeah,
like
right.
They would, like in this, they would.
Right. Now, yeah, in the remake, the love of basketball is what keeps him coming back.
Yes.
And the original was like, well, this is a skill set that I have. I'm going to use it.
I got to do what I can.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
I'm trying to make some money.
So, I find this may be a weird kind of line here, but like, I find the original film almost like aesthetically like jazz, right? Like you open up with Billy Hoyle, played by Woody Harrelson, who's like walking around Venice Beach and trying to find out about like this basketball court. He happens upon like this barbershop, basically trio, but quartet type deal, who were just like singing. They tell them about like these old ballers. I forget their names. Like
Duck and King.
Yeah, King and
King and Duck.
King and Duck. I think you're right.
Yeah.
Which by spoilers, I'll talk about now. Who they play, which is very poetic.
Yeah.
Like that they actually play them. Like, I say this jazz thing because, I think that there's just such an aesthetic to the film, and when they play basketball, it's not to look like a real basketball game. It's super slowed down. I mean, if you see 4 points per like game, I'd be surprised because like it's so slowed down and like there's this music element to it, and like it's just kind of about how they look and not versus like what they're actually doing.
What you mean in the original?
In the original,
There's something to that.
they look good enough. Like they look like they can play basketball.
Yeah, for sure. They look like they can play basketball.
It's filmed very well in the sense of like it's mostly Woody Harrelson, mostly Wesley Snipes.
I would say
just
all of it is.
balling.
Yeah, balling.
Just actually balling.
And Wesley Snipes, he's fucking impressive. Man.
Yeah.
I like in every athletic movie that he's in.
Yeah.
Like he's like him as Willie Mays Hayes. Him in this. Even Blade.
Yeah.
Like he's very impressive, man. Like he's always like just there's the one shot of him dunking.
Yeah.
And on the court during the game, and he does a spin move, and he goes around and gets the ball, and boom, and you're like, oh shit. Like,
I would say that like again, you're right. It's still sports and everything, but like versus the remake, though, it's actually fucking beautiful. Like it's like I just want to watch that basketball because like they're doing cutbacks and spins and setting picks and coming around like just like the movement of the ball throughout every scene is so fucking impressive.
Oh, and you know exactly where the other guy is on the court.
Yeah.
Like the way they shoot it. You're talking about the original.
The original,
right?
yes,
Okay.
I am talking about the original.
So in the original, and they have such an element in the first one that they barely even touch on like as much. In the second one is street ball.
Right.
Most of the time they're
It's all
playing in a
street.
fucking gym.
Right.
Like there's a huge difference between guys
Huge
that
difference.
hang out in front of that are in a park
What?
Because then you get people who are like winos.
Right.
And like you get guys who are like, oh, like in the beginning there's one guy who's like basically, I assume that he's homeless.
Right.
But he's like, he's a white dude with like a beard, and he's sitting there with his feet out, like watching the game. Like that guy's there. That guy's not in the gym.
Like Rick Rubin.
Yeah, exactly. He can't be in the gym until like because you got to get through a booth to get there. Not everyone can play.
But what's great about not giving us background on Sydney is that when he drops the line where it's like, hey, street ball, it's different.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I get it. College, Gonzaga, Louisiana, wherever you play basketball, sure, you can play in the gym. It's a different game.
Yeah.
Because we are, like you said, we're doing street
You have
ball.
to do the elements.
It's like, there's the wind, you know? And like, they do like little funny things with like the callback to adjusting for the wind and stuff. But like, it's plausible that Sydney, whoever he is, because we don't really know, could ball up with a ex-college guy based off the fact that like it's not organized basketball.
Yeah.
It's just street ball.
But I mean, don't get me wrong. He's a good baller.
Right.
But most of his game is talking shit.
Whoa, yeah.
That's most of the game.
Going back to it being a gambling movie.
That's what I mean.
You know, it's like
that's most of it. It's getting in the guy's head.
It's like,
and that's why Woody Harrelson, because he doesn't let him in his head.
Yeah.
And then he gets in his head.
It's rounders with basketball.
Yes, exactly.
It's
It's all about the money aspect, which is that's what it gives something like there's a monetary aspect to the remake, but it's not. Both of these guys want the money to progress in their careers.
Right.
Like these guys, there's no progressing. This is what they do. They just want the money. They want the money. Why? So that they can eat.
Yeah.
There's so the level of City wanting to get his wife a house,
right,
is so much different than Kamal trying to get the money to buy his wife a salon.
Right.
It's almost like that's kind of like a luxury. You guys are eating like everything's fine. They don't have a fucking home.
Right.
Like they don't. That's what the level of survival is completely different.
The interplay of Sydney and Billy Hoyle in their situations actually like they accentuate each other.
Yes.
The fact that Billy Hoyle lives in a motel and Sydney's like living situation is like he's not in a motel, but like
he's basically in a ghetto.
Yeah, he's in the projects, right? Yeah. And like his wife's desire to move out of the projects is like, this sucks. And he's like, well, I love my wife, and the only way I know how to like get out of the hood
is the hustle.
And like that's why his wife is okay with the hustle. Because she's like, no, I get it. Like, all right, you got this job, like you do construction, you do this other thing, you do like all the random stuff that he does to make sure there's enough money for his kid and ultimately like get them out of the streets.
Yeah.
Is super important. And like for Billy Hoyle, like again, the hustle is with Rosie Perez, might as well talk about it. In 1992, Rosie Perez plays Gloria Clemente, who is the, I guess, for lack of a better word, the white guy's girlfriend.
How much money did you make today?
I missed you too.
I'm sorry, honey.
In 2023, Laura Harrier is Tatiana, again, like, kind of like filler.
Yes.
Hey, they letting yoga instructors in the gym now.
Ball.
I just noticed you're not getting enough legs on the new shot. Are you dehydrated?
$100, you can't make more shots.
Let's just do 300.
It's not my dad's money.
We ain't never gonna get a reparation that way, bro.
So I prefer Venmo or Zelle, but you seem like a Cash App guy, so.
Ladies and gentlemen, C5. You think you're slick, huh? Showing up to court dressed like a dumbass, acting like you can't hoop.
You assumed I couldn't hoop because I'm white, which is incredibly outdated.
No, I assumed you couldn't hoop because you were dressed like a white girl at Whole Foods.
Where the love go?
It's really hard to plan for the future when we're always worried about money because you're out here living in a fantasy.
My 30-day detox program. You want a free sample?
Nah, I ain't drinking no boo-boo juice.
Wait, it's almost the first.
I'm gonna go tomorrow, I forgot.
Why don't you just go now?
It'll be fine. Hey, don't worry, Mommy.
Don't worry, Mommy.
Every hooper I know is entering that big-ass tournament with a winner get $500,000.
I just need somebody who can play so I can make some money.
You're joking, right?
$500,000 for one day of hoop.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We can hustle a few games together to get the money for the entry fee.
I'll find some marks. Those short shorts look incredible on you. Throw them off their game. You have an OnlyFans? And we'll clean up. You gonna wear that trash bag?
You gonna wear that fake-ass Richard Simmons outfit?
I bet y'all got more in common than meets the eye.
Release for me. Release for me. That's the
I doubt that.
It's enough jokes. Then the sun died.
Don't spend any of the money until we can cover the fee.
I should be saying that to you.
Well, I'm good with money.
So am I.
So am I.
Me too.
Me too.
Where?
Word, bro.
If she's iffy, then the drugs go. If she's double cup toast, got a duffel full of hundos, then the love go.
Buckets. What? Just wanted to see if you had superhuman hearing because of your...
Because of my what?
They're gonna kill him in the parking lot.
I'm out here. He got a flamethrower.
Flamethrower? What is this, Mad Max?
5, 4, 3, 2, I let one go. Wow, get the though. I don't go, bro.
I don't know how much you talking trash lady today, but good work.
Thank you. You could talk way more trash out there. You have so much material I can't even touch.
Like what?
Never mind.
Oh. Tell us.
Where the love go?
She's in the movie.
She's fine.
but-
Yeah, she's
fine.
She's not like it's. I don't know. Like even then, like when he bets the money and loses and she leaves.
Yeah.
It's so much more dire
So,
when Rosie
yes.
loses because they don't have anything now.
I agree. So, super quick, Tyra Farrell plays Rhonda Dean, Sydney's wife, in 1992. And Tiana Taylor, God love her, plays Amani, who's Kamal's girlfriend in 2023.
She's fucking
Yeah.
ride or fucking die.
Tiana Taylor's ride or die.
Ride or die in that movie. Like,
And
I was so glad. And
She's
it's
a
so
Amani character. But
yes,
like not,
she is, but she's also like, I'm so sick of this shit.
yeah.
Like it's a big difference when you're like your dude is trying to do everything right.
Yeah.
And it's just not working out.
Right.
You know, and she's like, well, okay, what do we do? Like,
Right.
well, how are we gonna do this? She's not like an annoying bitch. Like, yeah, come on, man, we got it. There's a way to play that she didn't do any of it.
Right,
And it's
right.
it's so refreshing to see that, like, the strong female character not being like, oh, I'm just a disagreeable bitch for no reason, you know, like that. I
Right.
like seeing that aspect of it, and then, but then the other one, it's like, well, he's like a fuck up.
Yeah.
Like where it's like the Rosie Perez, when he fucks up, it's like direly fucking up.
Yeah. So, like, Rosie Perez, which I would say is actually a huge strength of the 92 film, is that the way they use the women in their lives is so much more impactful and tells us so much more about the leads, the men that we're following.
Yes.
Right? Like, Rosie Perez, that ride or die thing that she's doing, which is like, okay, I live in a motel. I forget why he was trying to get her money for some, like, she had some kind of, like, fuck up or something.
Yeah, she had to pay, it was...
She owed money to some
She owed
guys.
money, I think, didn't she owe money to, like, some kind of, like, educational thing where she studied something?
Yeah.
It was
She
like a
did
bill.
money.
It was
Yeah.
it was a bill for, it was $8,000.
Right.
And then Woody Harrelson, we found out, is fleeing from two brothers for $8,000 that are going to murder him for $8,000. Which frankly, not worth it.
Pretty fucking pretty impressive. I don't remember the guys' names, but like Stagnati or
Whatever.
Brothers.
Who had fucking silencers.
Yeah.
The 90s were wild, guys.
Like, that matters, right? So the ride or die aspect of the women is a major part of the story. Rosie Perez sticking with Billy because he basically tried to throw a basketball game and his ego wouldn't allow him to do it, to his own detriment, right? He was like, they said I couldn't play, which comes back into play at different times. They said I couldn't dunk. They said I couldn't. And like, instead of just being like, fuck what those people think, he's like, oh, I'm going to ruin my life just to prove a point.
Yeah.
Which is fine. It's like, it's his character trait. And at one point, Rhonda, Sydney's wife, says to her, it's not, I forget what the exact line was. It's like, it's not like the money or anything like that. It's your man. Like, he's going to continue to do this. And Woody Harrelson shows that time and time again, which is like, oh, I've got everything solved. It's just me. I'm going to be an asshole in a situation.
Which is all the more reason why it's not really a basketball movie. It's a fucking gambling movie.
It is a gambling movie.
Like, that's... He's gambling on himself, and he's going to lose.
Right. And, Rosie Perez sticking with him through it and everything, and then she hits her line, and she's like, okay, that's it. But you're right. It's way more impactful than Tatiana, because we don't spend a lot of time with Tatiana.
Yeah.
She's really more background than even Tiana Taylor is in the film.
Yeah.
And I think, to your point about it being like a gambling movie, the remake is trying to be a basketball movie, so like instead of his problem being I'm a degenerate, his problem is my knees went.
Yes. My knees went, so I want to make my body better.
Yeah, so like Jack Harlow still has dreams of playing in the G League. Both of them do it. Kamal and Jeremy, I guess, have these dreams of like balling, and like the money is really just for them to try to play more basketball.
Yeah, the basketball is the means to get money, and the money's means to play basketball.
Right.
In this one. It's different. It's
the original was like, well, basketball is what I know.
Yeah.
I only get money, then I'm gonna use that money for like other shit.
Yeah.
Like to not get murdered by the mob.
Yes.
To
get
my girl on
family out
Jeopardy.
of, to get my family out of the projects. Like but then in the other one it's like, how do we we also got $500,000.
Right.
Okay, thank you.
Right.
Yeah.
And like I would say the more ride or die character in the remake is the Tiana Taylor.
Yeah.
Amani.
Kamal's girl.
Because she like fronts the money for that.
She does. And now the whole thing, she's like, even when he loses his job, she's like, so what are we gonna do?
Yeah.
What's the plan?
Yeah.
Like, it's not like, you did what? No, it's not like that shit. It's like, okay.
Right.
Well, no sense in crying about snow.
make the next move.
Now, what's the next move?
Yeah.
We have a kid now, so. And it's something, but it's so much more refreshing to see that. But here also, there's a big difference that I saw in the remake of what I saw. I don't think there's any question that Kamal's the better basketball player, correct?
Yeah, I don't think so.
But in the other one, who's better?
I don't know.
Exactly. I don't know. Like, it's like, they're two completely different games.
It is the final scene of Rocky with like Apollo and Rocky like, no one's watching.
Nobody's
Ding.
yeah.
And like they leave you on that cliffhanger. Like, I don't know who's gonna win that.
But
fight.
also, like, if they played 10 times, 5 might go to one and 5 might go to the other. So I don't know.
I think like they almost try to imply through like Woody's lines that again, it's actually an unreliable narrator. Woody is saying like I'm better because like I'm willing to look ugly and win. But like no, I think Sidney could give him some go.
Oh, I'm sure he can. I think he can.
But you're right. It goes back though. Like what puts either one of them over top of each other is the psychological warfare being waged that day. Because like some days Sidney's down because he's like, yo man, look out for that win. Some days Woody's down because he's like, yo, you can't dunk. And he's like,
exactly. It's like, I can't do it. And then it depends. But in this one, if they play 10 times, Kamal wins 10 times.
Yeah.
Not
well, there's not an argument because by the end of the film, again, spoilers, like Kamal basically plays in the league.
Yeah.
So he's obviously the better basketball.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, why?
Yes.
Why?
That was the mega happy ending.
Why?
Like the whole thing.
Just get the $500,000.
Yeah.
Isn't that enough?
We don't know. Exactly.
Isn't that enough?
But also, it's like he gets it, and it's so the way. It's just like overly written. Some of the parts of it, like the fact of as soon as he loses his job, his dad's in the hospital.
Right.
As soon as he wins the game, his father's dead. Like it's like okay, like what is God sitting there like and now
and
now
yeah. Well, like what works more, and again maybe why it's not a sports movie, right? In the '92 film is that by the end, when it's all squared up, like they have become friends.
Yeah.
Like
kind of.
But like with the job thing, he's like, hey, I need some help, and like just their demeanor is much friendlier by the end than it was.
But because of business.
Yeah.
In this one, they like almost become friends, and then like when they get into like a fight, the business suffers. Where it's like it's not really. They're more friends than anything. They become friends.
In 2023?
2023, yeah.
Yeah, so in 2023, I think that yeah, like over time they become friends, and like you can see that impact. But like, I just think the way it's shot in '92, like Sidney's reaction to taking his money for the dunk bet,
yeah,
is like at that point like they're still friends, but he's like
they're friendly.
They're friendly, exactly. So he's like, but look, man, at the end of the day, I'm gonna feed my family.
Yeah, and this is also like business. Like we're business associates. It's like how many people have you worked with that you like? Yeah, I like them, but I'm not gonna. I don't want to spend Saturday night with them every Saturday. You know, like every once in a while that person comes along, but rarely.
I think that like the fact that by then like Billy Hoyle decides that he needs a job from Sydney, and like just their demeanor. I guess ultimately what I'm saying isn't really anything about their friendship. It's the journey is what I enjoyed. Like their journey to becoming that friendly.
Well, you see,
was worth the trip. You know?
Yeah, but also like it's constantly like Billy constantly stays on guard.
Yeah,
it's like you're playing a game. Like when they get off of when they get out of the car after it's done. Like basically when they're alone, Sidney drops it. Like he doesn't. He's not like being. He's not talking shit to anyone. Right. He's just like, they get out of he gets them out of the car. They're going to the trunk. He's like, "Yo, you did really well today. Like, I just want you to know, and you got a really good looking girl." There. Yeah. And he's like, "Don't you fucking touch her."
Right.
He's like, all right, man. Like, you're dropping me off at my home where my wife lives. Like, I'm good. Don't worry.
I think that 92, just because of, for lack of better words, race relations. I think that like that tension. And Billy feeling inadequate all the time has him on guard like that, and like he doesn't have any chill because he's always trying to prove something.
Yeah, and the fact of like his girl is a minority, but she's not black. Right. So it's like, oh, I don't know how this will go. Like maybe they'll just corn the white guy again, like make the corny white guy look like an idiot again.
Yeah. No, he does, which he shouldn't based off of her ride or die aspect, but like he is concerned that like. Maybe Sidney could take his girl. Yeah. Which Sidney is not even like thinking about.
Not even remotely. He was just paying a compliment.
But because it pushes him like it gets him on edge, he's like, oh, okay, cool. I'll pull that.
Yeah, it's like okay, I thought we were being friends for a second. So.
Sure. Yeah, no, that's true. And like the equivalent scene, which doesn't holds not even remotely the same weight, is when Jack Harlow and Tatiana show up to like the 6th birthday party for Kamal's son, and like Vince Staples' character, Speedy, I believe, is like, "Oh damn, white boy is dating a black chick." It was like, okay, it happens all the time.
Yeah, it happens all the time. But and he brings the Hennessy.
Which gives Lance Reddick a great line. He's like, you boldly brought Hennessy to a black function.
Anybody I could talk to anyone that brings Hennessy to a black function. That is the balls.
Yeah.
Also, when they were making that in that scene specifically, the whole time you're talking about fucking like how strapped for money you are. Like, how much does this fucking birthday party cost?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Maybe it's a Chuck E. Cheese kind of year, kid.
True.
Sorry.
Yeah,
they have a bounce castle. They have mad cupcake. They had like all these. Like, I'm just looking around like, Jesus Christ.
The financial pressure, to your point, it's not even remotely close. It's like, it's not the same. Like, everything that they do in the original film, you feel the heat. It's like, okay, that first bet's for like $62. Yeah. And like, he doesn't even have the $62. Yeah. At that point. I mean, he had given his wife money for groceries, but like...
He had to borrow 20.
He had to borrow 20 from
Dwayne Wayne.
Yeah. From Dwayne Wayne.
Dwayne Wayne. From fucking...
Dwayne Wayne, yes.
From Different World.
Different World, yes.
Dwayne Wade.
He plays basketball. Yeah, like $62. The devastation when they make the 5Gs and then they just get robbed. Yeah, you know, there's like in the project, there's like, and like that sinking feeling of, fuck, man, like
never getting ahead,
take another step back. You know.
Yeah. And then the other thing that it's like it's touched upon, but it never like does anything with is just fucking Jack, whatever his name is, Jack's
Jack Harlow.
Yeah, Jack Harlow's like casual opioid addiction.
Oh yeah,
like,
they
like, huh?
They like gloss over it so lightly. Even the scene where he kind of has his breakdown because his girl leaves him.
Yeah.
Like, okay, he's taking pills and drinking vodka at like the rec.
At the rec center.
And old lady's like, "Yo, you doing all right, Jeremy?" You know what I mean?
Like, I love you.
Yeah, like you said, the
casual
overwriting. It's like
it's over. It's like either he has an addiction or he
Yeah,
doesn't.
right.
Like this guy.
Right.
I don't know if you know anyone that's had a problem with opioids. They don't casually just like well, every couple days.
Yeah.
No. It's pretty every few hours, and if not, they start breaking down pretty quick.
Well, I guess
especially if he's taking him the way he's taking him in the movie.
Yeah.
Like it's.
Well, I guess that does go back to I think almost like the brunt of what we're talking about is the tone, right? Like if someone had a pill problem in the '92 film, they'd have a pill.
They'd have a pill problem,
right?
And it would be pretty dirty.
Right. Like the '92 film does not have a problem with burning down the motel, almost getting killed by the gangsters. They pull back a little bit because he had the money. But if he didn't have the money, they would have killed him.
Exactly.
So like, there's no question. Or the scene, and like they try to recreate it in 2023 in a more comedic.
With the flamethrower?
Yeah, with the flamethrower. Like, I'm going back. Get my other gun. I'm shooting everybody.
Shoot everybody in the ass. It's everybody's ass. That's a whole other level of like just that scene alone in the beginning when he doesn't.
No, sorry.
Yeah, Raymond, is that you? Exactly. Like he goes. To get the money for the game, he goes to just rob the local convenience store.
Yeah.
And then the convenience store's like, I'll just front you the money. What
Yeah.
are you talking about?
Yeah.
And like that whole aspect, yes, it's funny, but it speaks to the level. Like when you're doing that in the gym,
right.
You're not doing that. That whole aspect
Right.
of that is out. And also like, yeah, some of these guys might fucking kill you. Like some of those, I don't know if you've bet on some like inner city basketball courts.
It put stakes on the basketball game.
Yes. Exactly,
Like,
it's a whole different level of like you getting like
hustling is dangerous.
Yes, like do you think he's gonna talk that much shit to like the way he talked to that Duke player to like that big ass dude with like the fucking that had the gun?
Right.
Do you think he's gonna like that kid Jack Harlow would talk that shit to him?
Right.
No,
Right. And again, like because of that danger, it actually puts characters backwards. Like Sydney is a much more impressive.
Exactly.
figure.
Exactly the weaving in and out of it.
Because like he's a jokester. He's like constantly like, hey,
That's
but like also he's like, but like I ain't no bitch.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get shot. I'm not gonna like.
That's also
I'm
like
talk the right amount of shit right on the line.
That's exactly what I was watching the movie. Like Jack Harlow is the shit talker in this one, and you're like, yeah, but you wouldn't. Like, trust me, as a guy that's been the white guy in a lot of heavily black situations, you don't sit there and talk mad shit because guess what? You will get the shit kicked out of you.
Yeah,
especially if you're on like a court like the guy had a flamethrower.
Right.
He obviously doesn't give a fuck.
Right.
So, it's Wesley Snipes would have to, like Sidney would have to be the guy that's talking this shit.
Yes.
And then if it's because it's who he is, then you could talk shit back to him maybe on a certain level.
Right. Well, we see Woody,
but he only beats him through the game. Like that's how he talks shit. Whereas Kamal talks shit through beating everyone's ass on the court. It's like that doesn't work the same way.
No, it doesn't. Until Woody gets to the actual like more of like the sanctioned tournament play where he starts turning it up because he thinks he's doing a psychological thing, and Sydney's like, you gotta dial that back.
Yeah, because you're annoying the shit out of me.
That's crazy. Like you're doing too much. And like I guess Woody's thinking like if you play angry, you'll be better. But no, you're right. Like Sydney has to be the shit talking, and honestly, the hubris and the interplay of like the idea that like black guys need to like look good. Like Sydney's playing kind of into this Woody Harrelson stereotype, but what Woody I don't think is recognizing, or Billy Hoyle isn't recognizing, is that like Oh no, like this guy is in control of this entire situation. Like,
100%. He doesn't flinch
That's
at
why
all.
that's why you gotta hustle.
That's why you gotta hustle. That's what he's doing. He's hustling them by talking shit.
Yes.
He just could talk really fast.
Right.
The whole
Right.
time. Even when the guy has the knife, he pulls out the razor.
Yeah.
The same dude with the gun.
Gotcha.
Yeah, he's like, he is not scared at all.
No.
At all. He's like, yo. And he's like backing up, like, okay. So it's a way different... It's a way different gimmick of, especially like the whole idea of the street ball.
Right. You're 100% right. Yeah.
And it doesn't work the other way as much. Like it's fine if it's a different movie, but it's not. Like if you're doing street balling, you could let your court play speak for itself. But like if you're gonna fucking muscle some dude in 1992 version, that guy's gonna fucking kill you.
Yeah.
Like some of those players are not fucking around.
I think yeah, you're right. Like,
which makes Sydney all the more impressive because he doesn't have a guy. He's not.
That's not his hustle.
Yeah, at all.
That's not his hustle. His hustle is one where he's like, okay, how do I make money and not get killed?
Yeah,
basically, like,
and it's getting these people so mad that they want to beat him.
But like, and that's one of the big strengths of '92 film. His shit talking is next level. Like the amount of like a basketball in his hand that will not get dribbled because I got to read you the right
and just sit there like, oh, what time you want to let the bitch go?
Tell your mama.
What time?
Oh man,
I'm sorry. We'll leave the moms out. We'll leave your mom's out. Your mom's out. Let me know when you want that bitch back.
and like he's literally. This is not very street of me. He's befuddling people. He's like, yo, my mom's not an astronaut.
Yeah.
like the dude's like, doesn't know why he's being dissed.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm not talking about your mom. I'm talking about how fucking stupid you are.
Yeah. And he's, it's
so good.
All of it, and that really led me to believe because I watched. Obviously, I've seen White Man Can't Jump before, so then I watched the remake, and then I immediately watched White Man Can't Jump like back to back.
Right.
And I think it works so well. I don't think you could have anyone better playing either one of those roles.
No.
It really is.
No.
You might be able to find a white guy that could ball,
Maybe.
but I don't think so.
But
in Hollywood, like that can act that as well as they can.
It almost has to be Woody.
Yeah.
It almost like.
I mean, his name is fucking Woody. Like
he is the unassuming white guy.
Yeah, and he's the unassuming white guy in Hollywood too.
Right,
Like he's not even. He's just Woody on Cheers at this point. This is like his first big movie.
Right. Because like you could do the 23 film with a lot of people.
Yeah, it's not really that impressive. They don't the charisma like Jack Harlow's like
for a rapper.
He does fine. But it's he doesn't really like shit talk like how he does the way both of them do, and then ball at the same time.
Yeah,
it's completely different.
Yeah,
like that's the other aspect of it. Like you could talk, you could act, but you also have to ball.
Right.
And Wesley Snipes could absolutely do it.
Yeah,
and Woody Harrelson could absolutely play.
Clearly, yeah. No, it was really impressive. I mean,
that's what I mean. I'm trying to think of like someone else. I don't know if you can. I don't know if you can. That's why it's like perfect casting. All the more reason why.
You know you're not going to recast Wesley.
Absolutely not.
You know you're not going to recast Wesley.
Yeah, definitely not. Especially like around the time because one, he has to be black.
Yeah.
The other, like he has to be charismatic. He has to be able to act, and then he has to be overly athletic and could actually play ball.
You know who you can't replace at all?
Rosie Perez. Yeah.
Rosie Perez. Good God.
Listen, I think she's great in this, but I don't know.
It is another race thing too. Like you were saying, like she's not black, she's not white, she's like rough around, and just like her demeanor, it does give Billy Hoyle more credibility too. They're like Rosie Perez, who like subtly, well not that subtly, but like when she picks up the gun when Sydney comes in and she's like, I'm gonna shoot you.
Yeah, and no qualms about it.
Nope, I got no problem with that. The whole Jeopardy thing, like, again, could it be a little over the top? But it's so worth it. The payoff of her on Jeopardy,
it's phenomenal. Like at first you're like, what the fuck is this? And then the payoff of her on Jeopardy and crushing on Jeopardy.
What is key, Charlotte?
And then her subtle, like, but that's where the subtlety of, like, her alcoholism.
Yeah.
That works.
Yeah.
But, like, the subtlety of opiates,
like,
of one of the main characters, doesn't, one of the athletic main characters.
Right.
It doesn't work that much. Like, you can't have, like, a junkie playing like that. Like, that's the message.
But he only does it, like, once. It's not like Jack Harlow. It's like one. I mean,
he's popping pills all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, when he gets fucked up?
Yeah, like, fucked up.
But, I mean, his body's still developing a dependency.
That's true. Like, that's true. I mean, like, you know, the flamethrower thing feels like just shoehorned in because they did it in the first film. These guys' problem is, like, validating their parking.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
That's their problem.
It's not the stakes. It's not the same stakes.
Like, this guy owes money to the mob, and this guy's wife and kid may get murdered because of where he lives.
Yeah.
You know, like, you got people breaking in your house, stealing your shit.
Yeah, you gotta move your Porsche.
You gotta move. You gotta move. You know, like.
But this guy's gotta move his Porsche.
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny.
It is.
But it's not like, the stakes aren't the same.
It is.
Like, it's.
And I guess he's still kind of like a fuck up in the sense of, like, he had this, like, kind of inherited money that he just kind of, like, squandered, but at the same time.
But he doesn't, though.
Not really.
Not really. No, he inherits the apartment.
The apartment.
But it's not like he. But he just immediately starts paying the low rent.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Which, by the way, she, like, holds against him at one point. I'm like, you better shut the fuck up, because that's a great move.
I guess the lying to her, it was part of it, but, like.
I guess she was mad, but she's like, I'm living in your parents' apartment.
It's not like.
It's like, they don't live there. This is my apartment now.
You don't have. Like the 92 film, we have numerous examples of Billy Hoyle fucking up.
Yes.
In just the movie. Before we even knew anything about him. Like, what's this mysterious past? Why aren't you playing basketball in Louisiana anymore? Oh, reasons. And then you're like, oh, this is your problem. Like, you can't
point
stop.
Shaving, yes.
Yeah. Point shaving. That, like, all, like, he's a degenerate gambler.
Yeah, he's granted, he's gambling on himself, but he's.
Still, though.
Still, he's a degenerate.
Still.
He's at least a degenerate. Like, which is the kind of guy that would attract in street ball.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's also the other thing that annoys me in this movie. Okay, like, I've seen 5 nearly professional basketball players in my life, like, in real life, play a game in front of me. Not on, like, sitting at a game. Like, I mean, like, you know, that when they came into whatever game they were, the game was over.
Right.
Like, this guy, lights out, boom, boom, boom. Like, when you saw, like, the level of game between those, there's not even. It's like when you go to an open mic at some fucking whatever, and you're just. It's not even the same thing.
Well, I remember I did a comedy festival one time, and, like, you know, there was all kinds of levels of comedy. It was like I was doing my shit, people were doing their thing, and then this one guy who was like a real headliner, like headline a night, and I was like, oh, that's different.
Yeah,
that's
different. It's just a different thing. It's not even close.
We're not doing the same thing.
Yeah, and when you see like that in real life, when you see playing like a pickup game, there's no. So when Kamal is playing against any of these people, he's the #1 prospect coming out of high school.
Right.
He's going to win. It's not, and it's not even going to be close.
That's true.
It's not, and then the other guy, and then this Jack Harlow who went to Gonzaga. He was very good on Gonzaga too.
Right.
They're good. It's also not going to be close.
Right.
Like, he's going to be better. He's not going to be as good as Kamal probably.
And really, possibly the only reason is because his knees are shot.
Yeah, that's it. But he could also clearly so well. Like, I went to school with Jay Williams.
Okay,
and he got into a motorcycle accident after his first year with the Bulls, and then I saw him. He wasn't playing to the level of Jay Williams when he was at Duke, but let me tell you something. He will fuck up anyone we know. Even, and he's way better than. It's not the same, you know. He was. I mean, there was a reason why he was #1.
Totally.
And then when he comes in, which is the most forced, overwritten thing in the movie, that Jack Harlow, his quote nemesis, the guy from Duke, who is, why are you doing
that?
You don't even know him from. They didn't play him in college.
He's another white guy.
He's a white guy who's teaching on his court.
Yeah,
that's not his court.
Yeah, like you're just like he's got clients, you got clients.
Yeah.
Like,
so what's the problem?
It wasn't even like the guy took his client. It was just
No.
like he's doing this thing, you're doing.
And
this
then
thing.
he's like, "Did you just name drop yourself?" He's like, he was introducing himself.
Right.
I don't know. And that was 100% on him. That's like, you're a fucking dickhead.
He was being a dickhead.
Although when he was like, I got like so many thousands of followers now, I don't even know. I have had that conversation with a couple like comics.
Sure.
You're just like, shut up.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I mean, that guy's better than those comics were at being comedians.
No, that's
so the guy from Duke is clearly a better basketball player than those guys are.
Right.
So
I think
my eye roll is much more justified than Jack Harlow's.
Of course. I think that like that like hustler spirit. I don't think these two have it in 2023.
No.
Like,
well, they barely hustle. I mean, they make some money.
The detox thing is like, why don't you like you should be out like every game. You should be like, yo, by the way, drink my shit.
Yeah.
That's why I beat you. You know what I mean?
That's why I beat you.
Like, but they're perfectly fine with just making a couple dollars on the basketball game.
Mm-hmm.
And a problem that the 2023 film has too is in its attempt to be a comedy, because like 92. Very funny for a lot of different reasons.
It's funny, but it's funny in the way that Goodfellas is funny.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a comedy.
Right.
But what they're saying is funny.
Right.
You know, like, it's not joke, you know.
Exactly. 2023 is trying to do joke, and, like, they actually undermine the people that they're playing because everything's such a joke. Like, this guy's got to have a GoPro and a helmet. This guy's got to wear, like, the sunglasses. And it's like, so is he good or is he bad?
Yeah.
Like, in 92, there's very simple things they do. Where like, yo, this guy right here, you can actually like he can dunk it. Like, like there's conversations they had like, yo, it's gonna be a tough game. The tournament, I guess itself is what makes it tough. Is that like it, you know?
I guess
it's a big prize tournament because I mean, for $500,000, hell, me and you might give it a crack.
Yeah, give it a crack. But at that point, it's well, they're gonna win.
Yeah,
like those guys are gonna win. Those, like, unless fucking Jordan and Pippen decide to join this league, who gives a shit? Like, one guy alone could win that league.
Yeah, it's just, like, they didn't have to go as far as they did. Like, I think 92 keeps itself grounded in somewhat realism, which is like, okay, look, we just made some money. That's cool. Like, 2023, well, we made $500,000 in LA. Okay, cool. Even split 4 ways. It's ridiculous. You know, it's life-changing money. And then I'm also going to go to the G League. Then I'm also going to go to the NBA. And then he's going to start working with basketball players.
Yeah.
It's like, hey man,
You're 27.
Take the fucking money.
Yeah. So
just you won the big tour.
You guys are 27 years old. You don't get drafted at that age.
Yeah, no, you don't. It's over.
It's over.
It
So
was
you're
over.
done.
Yeah.
You're done, son. Like, you might have 2 years. Like, if you were playing baseball, sure. You could do it. You could do it. But football, basketball, I don't know, kid.
Because even if you were amazing, who's going to take the risk?
Yeah, at 27? Although, I mean, you could get but even the lowest paid contract is still a lot.
Yeah.
You have salary caps. Like, whereas in baseball, there is no salary cap. You're like, fine, I'll give you a minimum wage contract.
I think if they would have stopped with like, oh yeah, then he played like Euro ball.
He played, and they won a championship. Or China.
Yeah.
In China, yeah.
Yeah, like, that would have been enough.
It's like, I'm sorry, do you guys not know about Starberry?
Yeah. Like,
He is the Chinese basketball player.
Yeah, that minimum contract shit would have been enough. But, like, they just wanted to, like, go back to the well. Yeah, just tonally, I think, like I said, they're very different films.
Yeah, and then they got happy ending. And also kind of like, I'm sorry, what's your problem? Like, that you get mad at people talking shit to you?
Oh, yeah.
So, and I hate to break it to you, kid, you getting arrested would not get rid of your scholarship.
Right.
His name is Allen Iverson. If you were that good, doesn't matter what you did.
I agree.
And even if it did, okay, then you go to fucking North Carolina State.
Right.
You know, like,
right.
So you go to, who cares? You go wherever.
But, like, the point shaving thing, yeah, I mean, you're out. Because, like, that's just...
Yeah, point shaving thing, no, you're done.
You can't do it. Like,
no, but a fight, yes.
Yeah.
You're fine.
The other problem that happens, and what happens oftentimes with these remakes, is this movie's a victim to the time it came out. You can't street hustle. Like, they act like Lance Reddick is the only person that knew he went to Gonzaga.
Yeah.
Other people
do
would have known that he went to Gonzaga.
Exactly.
Like, it just
it's like the same. It's the same plot hole as, especially like Gonzaga always has a goofy looking white dude on it.
Yep.
Always, especially Gonzaga. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But it looks exactly like Jack Hartlow. So you'd be like, did you play for Gonzaga? Like, oh God.
Like the fact that like Kamal considers himself a failure because he didn't make it past like high school ball, or like he didn't like do enough in college to move on. But like Jack Harlow's like, I'm perfectly fine with.
I'm fine with like, oh yeah, I played Gonzaga.
Like to the point where like they allude that he could have gone to the league.
Yeah, and until he hurt his leg, his knees.
So it's like
both, by the way.
Right. Ridiculous.
Great. Whatever injury that was.
Yeah.
It was. He got hit by a bus on that court.
Very bad.
But that was like the same thing in Point Break.
Right.
They're like, yeah, that's Johnny Utah, the Heisman Trophy winner or whatever. It's like, nobody looked into what he did since he's not an NFL quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no one looked into it. Oh, he's in the FBI now.
Right.
What's he doing here? I'm a surfer now. No, you're not.
Right.
You suck at this.
Oh, man. So bad. But yeah, like, you know, it's just the remake problem. It's the remake problem, which is like, okay, it's a different time.
It is. It's
92 is very different than 2023.
Yeah, and I mean, and they try and I like that the 92 doesn't pull any punches about him being white and black, and they don't really care. But it's like they just keep making jokes about like, like if those guys were actually friends, nobody gives a shit that much.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you and I are friends. We rarely talk about race.
Yeah, no, it doesn't come up often. I think that like in 92, it makes sense because like you look at like some of the comedy at the time, like you could make a living off of white guys walk like this.
This is exactly what it is. This is women be shopping days.
Yeah.
Like, you ever notice a black guy drives like this? Doom, 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 doom. A white guy's like, doo, 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 doo. And it's very much on that. It's that time period exactly.
I was thinking of which was actually later, but like I was thinking there was a comedian Darren Carter. I don't know if you know him, but like one of his bits was like, "Yo, you know, some people call me Darren Carter, but like, well, I'm Duran, Duran, and like do all that shit, and like it's plausible that black dudes in like Venice are like, yo, I don't think a white guy can play basketball.
Yeah,
like, it's like clearly not with the same flavor that we do. So like he has to build all this credit.
So that and that hustle would work, and nobody would know he went to school in Louisiana.
Great.
Doesn't even say LSU.
Yep.
Doesn't say anything like that. So what school?
What school?
Where? And I don't know. Yeah, maybe in 1992. So he played probably, let's say, 1987. He was playing basketball. That school was not on television.
I was about to say the exact same thing. It was like Gonzaga. People saw
some shit.
Lance Reddick saw some Gonzaga games.
Exactly.
You know? Like, I just don't believe that you're in this universe where there's like AAU ball and like there's people training other people and trying to like make it to the pros, and like you're not aware of like prospect sheets.
Of course.
In the past like 5 years. Like,
and also, if that guy, that would be one of his selling points. It's like I used to play for Gonzaga. Yeah, that's me.
Right.
Like that's me. I used to that's first thing in the conversation.
I wear a Gonzaga sweatshirt all the time.
He has one. He does wear one at one point in the movie. Also, the music in the 2023 movie is so random.
It is.
So random. There's count them, two Sublime songs in that movie.
Yeah.
That's like, that have nothing to do with, they're playing Santeria. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
But as the ADR music drop. Not like it happens to be on in the movie. Not that. It's playing like it's setting the mood when they're on the beach. It's like, okay. And then later on, he's like dribbling in the gym in summertime.
Yeah, I remember summertime.
It's like, summertime and the living's easy. And like when he's getting fucked up, that's what's playing. And then there's a bunch of stuff, then they're playing ball, and it's like, why is this song on?
Yeah.
Like Long Tall Sally by Little Richard is playing. You're
Why
like,
not?
huh?
Why not?
Okay.
It's what they got the.
And then Why Can't We Be Friends?
That was so.
It's so like
on the nose.
Yeah, so on, and it's like.
Oh, they're not friends because of racism.
Because of racism.
Like
but this movie fixed it.
Yeah.
Both movies fixed it, actually.
I'll give him like it's not the funniest thing I've seen, but like I'll give him like the payoff of like the Ed Sheeran thing. Like that was
okay.
That was like
because he says
it's like what would happen if your boys saw you like listen to Ed Sheeran? Like would you turn it down or would you like that's my shit? Which does not come close to you can't hear Jimmy.
Yes.
The Jimi Hendrix line in the first one.
You listen to it, but you can't hear it.
Jimmy. Which again, Wesley Snipes.
What you talking about? Jimi Hendrix drummer was white.
It's like, that's a picture. It's like, you mean the exact evidence going against your
the
point?
album cover? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's just a picture, of his drummer.
And this is pre-Milli Vanilli.
Yeah.
Where people didn't know you could just cheat.
Oh, man. So.
It's the whole thing of that. It's very forward, but everything else other than the music in his car.
Yeah.
I love the kind of homage they do of like having sex on the car that they do in the second remake of her climbing on top of him. And he's like, oh, I can't. Which is, listen, if that's the first time you're having sex with somebody, you might let it happen. But
true.
But if you're living with that person, you're like, yo, get the fuck off me.
Yeah,
like we're driving here. This is extremely dangerous.
Straight up.
But the music in the 1992 one, it's all like rap, hip hop from the street that you'd hear playing at that court. Like it's like okay, like
boombox or something.
Boombox or fucking Public Enemy or whatever.
Totally.
NWA something like it'd be like okay because this is like pre Tupac and Biggie so.
Yeah, I just even like the way the basketball is shot. Like, yes, it's shot better in terms of, like they clearly have better equipment and stuff like that. Like some of the way the tracking shots happen in 2023, but again, the aesthetic, like just the look. And '92 had like slowed down the ball, DP, like the 80 over it,
ball, and then talking shit, and then just them hitting each other.
Yeah,
like there's the one scene where the guy cracks him,
right,
and then because he's like annoying him, and you're like, okay, you cracked him, like. That was an everyday occurrence there, like in the '92 one. Like it's like I don't know if you ever watched any of those Knicks Bulls games, but they were pretty intense, and that was on the professional level.
Right,
they're talking about these amateurs that are playing for food money,
right?
Oh, and rent money. He's like, oh, at one point the guy's like, I just cashed my check for rent. He's like, yo, if you're playing for that, you're throwing some fists.
Oh yeah, and even like again making it like a street ball thing. The idea of even calling the foul.
Oh,
what are we?
And one.
This is what we're doing. We're calling fouls now.
Yeah. It's
a
whole other level.
I think 2023 like they like kind of streamlined their story. It was fine. When they played the tournament. I'm glad they didn't like linger too much on shit. Like I'll give the movie this day. Like the flow of it was fine. They didn't like overstay their welcome in 2023. Like 92, that wasn't a question. It was just like I was just enjoying watching it when I was watching.
You know what kind of annoyed me?
Yeah.
That they did was that when they lost the 2-on-2 tournament.
Yeah.
And then, first of all I didn't expect because they were like, oh, you got a free entrance in the second one, which I was like, okay. I thought that they would win by like some bullshit way, some rule book way or something. That's why they won. So I figured it was going to come back. But then the fact that like, oh no, we happen to have an alternate for the like, what? What the fuck?
Yeah.
Like what is this bullshit? Yeah, like you're just again, it's like overly written. Like you have to have the Rocky first defeat.
Yeah.
Like he loses and then he has to win at the end.
And I think
and I'm sorry, what was fucking Kamal's problem? He's too afraid to be good?
Something like that. I don't know, like the pressure, like
I guess
anger. They had to meditate. I guess meditation became part of it. It's like black people don't meditate. It's like
they can also and white people take pills. Okay, like that's what we learned from
yeah. But like
no.
Like by the time Jeremy or Jack Harlow's character makes his like I guess accepted turn, like when he throws the punch at the game. And I think Vincent's like,
see, now he's starting to stand up for himself more, but he's learning to calm down a little. They get along.
Right.
Fucking lethal weapon.
And like, a lesson that like we didn't really need to learn. Is like, okay, Jack Harlow punches him so that he doesn't, like, so that Kamal doesn't, so that like Kamal can have his like arc.
Yeah.
But whatever, like it doesn't matter. Like, did you guys win the money?
That's all that matters.
Like,
and how do you divvy it up?
Yeah.
Is it by minutes? Because
that's a great question.
And
I think you got to pay the money even if like people were fucking up.
And also, do the entrance fees get back, and then you split it?
Yeah, like because some people stake this.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
She staked 5,000, and they got to come up with 2,500, and fucking Jack Harlow put nothing up. He showed up with Ed Sheeran.
Yeah, I don't know, like
By the way, and the ending with Blake Griffin giving them the check, and he's like, "Yo, this counts as community service. Take the picture." Immediately, I was like, "I'd rather see that movie." Like, why are you there?
Yeah, right. Like,
why are you there?
How did Blake Griffin?
Why do you need community service? No. Yeah, fuck that. Okay, let's see what Blake Griffin's up.
Yeah. I just I think that there are some key elements that obviously make 1992 superior.
Yeah.
I think one, the actors.
Blew him away.
Woody Harrelson.
Novel.
And a little guy named Wesley Snipes. I never heard of him.
Never heard of him.
The aesthetic, whether it's the fashion, the music,
the locations.
Location, yeah, the Venice Beach, Watts, like it. Yeah, those are some really good sequences. So like that was very good. And then ultimately, like the way they used the love interest
and the humor.
Yes, yes. And definitely for the humor, it is a much funnier film consistently.
Yeah.
Even in times where I'm like, it seems like a bit much. It's like, I still don't really care because like it's pretty funny. Fucking funny. Like, I feel like, I mean, I don't want to like downplay the scriptwriter, but like, I don't think that's all in the script. That's got to be.
No, it's not. Like Wesley Snipes is just going.
Just
going.
Because, like, that doesn't feel like some Hollywood, like...
There are some things, like when they were saying, when Michael Jordan came down here, and I was like, oh, you want to get... They're like, oh, no, you should play in the NBA Summer League? Nah, it would fuck up my game.
Yeah.
Like, that kind of stuff. That was written. But
right.
The whole your mom's shit and going back and forth and him talking shit.
I know you ain't... Yeah. Like, all that stuff.
Like the Carol Brady and...
it's just, like, the arc is just... It's just better, like... From Billy Hoyle's like insecurity to them becoming friendlier, they actually take down the street legends.
Yeah,
which is actually just a side plot.
That's just a side plot. It was like they happen to do it.
Down the court.
Yeah, it's like that. We got to get beyond that mountain range. Oh shit, we crossed it in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Oh okay. Yeah. Oh, we did it. That was really hard. Never mind. But also at the end. They are not better off. They are. No. They have to hustle tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like the next day, they're gonna be there on Venice Beach, being like, "I'll play for $150."
Yeah. Because
they have like
Billy Hoyle needs a job.
They also we can breathe for a second.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's go back out and hustle more.
Billy Hoyle's like, okay, I gotta get a real job, and like a job with Sydney isn't a real job.
No. He's unemployed.
Yeah, like,
half the time. That's why he's hustling.
It's like I know the construction thing is kind of a thing, but like it's not. Because like when he's doing the construction, the white guy in the suit is like, no permits or anything.
Yeah,
I got nothing with that's a permit. Who needs a permit?
Who needs a permit? I'm not even licensed.
Even like like actually the more I'm thinking about like the sort of like the behind the scenes legend of Sidney Dean's hustle when he rolls up into the parking lot and all like the Spanish dudes are like no because they're trying to get jobs as construction. It's like, what's this guy's like?
Yeah, exactly. It shows and doesn't tell, and it's so much better that way. Yeah, it's like or just making this up in my head now.
100%.
And that's a whole different movie in my head. Yeah. Like that's what it is, and I like that better. Same thing with like all of Woody Harrelson's college career.
Right.
That's a much better movie.
Right.
But they're also not a better movie. It's, you know what I mean? Like it's a whole great movie.
Right. But, like I would love to hear about it, but this. But
I just love the Venn diagram where it connects and it's in the middle, and like there we are.
The circumstances that brought them here, though, aren't interesting enough to not tell this story.
Exactly.
Versus anything that you make, like a modern thing. which actually cuts against what I was saying about like the Mario movie last time. Is like they don't tell it.
Yeah.
Magic, just magic. That's all.
Magic. Yeah.
That's
it. I don't know.
2023 is like here's why, here's why, here's why, and we don't.
But also, is it like I don't know? Like he wants to get back in the league, but you're 27. You have like 2 broken ACL, like ripped ACLs. I don't know, man. Like just do a little bit of research on the stem cells. I don't think it's gonna work out.
No,
like,
no,
so
like
your whole thing, and then also
shooting
like
stem cells in your knee is not going to solve this.
Yeah, and also like what you're just embarrassed to do well.
Right.
I don't understand what's going on.
Right, because like when the Pistons come around, it's like, oh no, see, like I had stem cells.
Oh, okay. I'll mark that down.
Well, I guess you're coming to the league.
Okay, so Gonzaga.
Yeah. No, like sometimes the dream is over, and I think because, like you were saying, they want to live these basketball dreams.
Yeah. But that's why this movie should be called Basketball Dreams.
Right. But, like, again, a point that you made very eloquently is that, like, if it wasn't basketball, it'd be something else.
It'd be something else.
In 92.
In 92. They'd be selling Coke.
It'd be
or something. Like
something else.
Something else.
And, like, it's cool that it was basketball.
Yeah,
but, like,
it's fun to
just
watch.
basketball this week.
This week, yes. There's a market for
it
that.
might be high line next week.
Yeah, exactly. They don't give a shit. It could be those Spanish tiles that he was...
I'm surprised they're not playing dominoes.
Exactly.
Like,
why not? It could be anything.
Like even that Rounders line, I kind of meant it. It's like if Sydney was like, yo, there's a poker game that we can get in on, they would play the poker.
They would. Woody Harrelson would be like, what time?
Yeah.
Do I wear the corny white guy outfit?
Right.
It's like, sure.
And like that is like their friendship is that like they both mutually understand their lot in life.
Yeah, they're hustlers.
We're hustlers.
Yeah.
That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna hustle.
It's the same thing as like, oh, I'm a drug dealer, you're a drug dealer. We know we're the game.
Right.
Like that's
right. Yeah, and I do love the some of the no honor amongst thieves things that happened in '92 that aren't there in 2023.
Not at all.
When Sydney hustles Billy, and then Sydney's wife
Billy
is like,
hustles Sydney.
Yeah, yeah.
I guess he does that in the same thing. The same aspect.
Yeah, but like that first hustle.
Yeah.
It's a better hustle in the first movie. It just like it sets the framework in a much better way. Like I don't know, like they just happen to be adjacent to each other. Like it's not like he came out of nowhere. He's been in LA for a while, just kind of in the best. Like it's actually surprising they haven't run into each other before.
Yeah,
you know. Yeah, I don't know, but like with all that being said, I'll ask you first. Do you think that the remake should exist?
This is the first time I've ever answered this question this way. Is that I think there's a place in the ether for this to exist. I think it in the cultural zeitgeist for it to exist, but it shouldn't be called White Man Can't Jump.
I can get behind that. I think that like you know, we've been on kind of a streak where like things shouldn't exist, but like it's a perfectly adequate film. There are some good beats in there. It doesn't hold up to White Men Can't Jump.
No, it's not even close. Like if you're gonna say should it be exist as a remake? No.
Yeah, as a remake, no.
But as a movie itself, a separate entity of the movie.
I think that sometimes like with these remakes, I mean, it's always a cash grab, right? Like that's what a remake is. But like,
but it's explicitly a cash grab.
Yeah, like this is. But like, I think that if it gives some people the opportunity to visit the first one, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Being around. It wasn't like they asked me to pay movie tickets. Like Hulu was like, hey, this is the Hulu remake of White Man Can't Jump. I was like, all right.
I have Hulu.
It'd be like you were saying, like Goodfellas. Like this is the Lifetime version of Goodfellas. Like,
well, I have to watch that.
I don't know why you're doing it, but
I would legitimately have to watch it.
Right.
Like this is Lifetime presents Wise Guy, Nicholas Pileggi's Wise Guy.
Yeah.
Like, well, I have to watch this.
It's just it's like it's fine. I don't think I could say, like, I wouldn't say I can recommend it.
No,
but
I also wouldn't not recommend it either.
Like if someone's like, "Yo, I'm gonna watch White Man Can't Jump," I wouldn't be like, "Don't do that."
Like House Party, I'd say don't do that.
Yeah, House Party would be like, "Don't do that." Like,
don't bother. Just watch the original House Party.
Like
this one, I'd also say watch the original.
Oh, I
White
agree.
Man Can't Jump.
Like, I mean, enjoy yourself.
Enjoy yourself. But if you were saying like I'm watching the remake, I'd be like, okay.
Yeah.
God bless.
I was like, "Oh, have you seen it?" Like, yeah, I've seen it. I was like,
I've seen
what
it.
do you think? It's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. It's fine.
As good as the original? No.
No.
Obviously, it falls far.
But it's also its own original.
Right.
It's not, so.
So funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So for our next movie.
Oh yeah. Shit. What are we watching next? Wait a minute. I know. We're gonna watch 12 Monkeys.
12 Monkeys.
12 Monkeys.
12 Monkeys.
Well, Bruce Willis action.
Bruce Willis
based
and
off of a short Italian film.
Is it Italian? I don't know. I thought it was French.
Maybe it's
French.
something.
It's something. But I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's gonna be dope.
Yes.
This was fun.
Good time. I liked it.
It's very on brand for us.
Very on brand.
Guy,
oh, perfect.
Subverting expectation.
Perfectly. So we followed the wave of House Party right here.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Well, hey man.
That being said, this is Retro Vs Remake. Follow us on Instagram, Retro Vs Remake. Click and like and subscribe. And then I'm also Dan Farley, and you can find me at DanFarley18 on Instagram, and then JerseyDan18 on Twitter.
Absolutely. I'm Reggie Parker. You can find me at RP Comedy on Twitter and Instagram. You can follow the show at Retro Vs Remake. Like, subscribe, comment on YouTube,
yeah, baby.
on Spotify, iTunes, probably Google Play, all that stuff. But
all that good shit.
Thanks for listening, man. The subscriber base is up pretty well.
Let's go, baby.
Yep. 12 Monkeys next
12
week.
Monkeys.